Everybody's saying A.J. Brown's the number one. I'm going to tell
Mhm.
you the truth. They did not draft DeVonta Smith to be a number 2 wide receiver. He is a
Right,
number 1.
right.
Now, whether you're going to call him number 1A or number 1B, whatever it is, he's going to still be a number 1 wide receiver. He is just that good. He is that silky smooth. He will command that you be aware of where he is, regardless of where Brown is on the field, because he can get open naturally.
All right, so we were talking a little bit. We did a little Eagles, but we mostly been doing baseball, Barrett. So one thing I've noticed from, and you tell me because you were down there twice already, and they're not no practice today, but reports are DeVonta Smith's targets have been quiet, not a ton. It's been a lot of AJ Brown, it's been a lot of others and whatnot. Any reason for concern there? Or is this just typical ebb and flow of practice?
It's just they're going through the offense and trying to implement and see where guys fit in. Plays that, because they haven't worked with AJ before, so trying to figure out what he does best. How can they how can they hone in on his skill set? So of course he's going to get a lot of passes just to see what he does best to open this offense up. They know Smitty. They know Smitty and what he's going to do, how he's going to go out there and play. Same thing with Goddard. They're not saying a lot about Goddard. But Goddard's going to be a focal point in this offense. Goddard will be the quarterback's best friend. So people, are worried about, he's not getting targeted. He is doing enough. They see exactly what he can do. They started off with it last year. They see what he can do because they've seen it out there. Plus, they see it on the field now. He's so silky smooth at running his routes and creating separation and understanding where he needs to be at in the offense. If he needs to sit down in the zone, if he's run past on man-to-man situations. He knows how to bend routes. He's attacking the DB. He's looking straight at him, attacking him, running up on his toes, and then moving to make a play, moving to make a route. Those are all things that he is great at doing. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know. Everybody's saying A.J. Brown's the number one. I'm going to tell you the truth. They did not draft DeVonta Smith to be a number 2 wide receiver. He is a number 1. Now, whether you're going to call him number 1A or number 1B, whatever it is, he's going to still be a number 1 wide receiver. He is just that good. He is that silky smooth. He will command that you be aware of where he is, regardless of where Brown is on the field, because he can get open naturally. Just by how he plays the game, he's always going to be open, always. There's no question, no doubt that Smitty, number 6, will be open at all points during the game because he's that good. His understanding of the offense is getting better and better. And with that, becomes a more polished wide receiver. Now, AJ on the other side, he's going to be open just because he's going to Debo guys. He's going to, he's able to go out there and press on, smaller DB. Yeah, he's going to they say his hands are so strong and his arms are so long, and he already has an opposing body that it's hard for a DB to fight through him to try to make a play on the ball. There's going to be a lot of times there's going to be flags to keep the drives going because they're going to try to push him around, and with doing that, it's going to be pass interference. So, man, I just looked to this offense to be a big play offense. It's going to be a steady offense. And, I like what we have at the wide receiver position. And then out of nowhere comes a guy what's his name? The second team running back.
Scott.
Gainwell.
No, Kenneth Gainwell comes from nowhere with his ability to go out there and run routes also. This is going to be a potent offense, man. Definitely a potent offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have crazy options in the passing game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You think about the starting wideouts with Goddard, with Gainwell's ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, man. Oh, God.
But see, and a lot of times, too, when you don't hear about certain players like a Goddard or DeVonta Smith getting looks and touches in a training camp, is because they're working on other elements of their game. Also, they're adding repertoire to their game. See, DeVonta Smith could be adding another move off the line of scrimmage. He could be working on getting press. They talked about he had difficulty getting our press coverage at times. He might be working on some moves. A.J. Brown could be giving them tips on how to here's what you need to work on to get our press coverage. As far as the Dallas Goedert, as good of a player all around as he is, he could be working on his blocking technique. He could be working on another inside or outside move to free himself up in a passing game situation as well. Just because players are not getting the touch, especially skilled players, the backs and the wide receivers, they're not getting so-called touches, doesn't mean they're not working on something to enhance their game. Accomplished players have always told me they don't care how long you're in this league, you're always working on something to make yourself that much better, that much more unpredictable, because people
you're right,
study
Barrett.
films.
Yep.
They see tendencies. They see tendencies. People are smart enough, especially when you get to the pro game. Watch his foot moving. If he moves his foot this way, that means the play is going this way, or that means it's a pass play. So you're working on little things to disguise what you do a lot better, or to enhance what you do that much better.
Well, look at this, guys, look at this. Imagine this scenario. All right, you've been wrestling with A.J. Brown all day. He steps off the field to go take a break. Quez Watkins comes in. He's on the same side as Dallas Goedert. Of course, the defense is going to put a little more of an emphasis on stopping Dallas as opposed to looking out there and seeing Quez Watkins. They're thinking, Quez Watkins, third team guy, fourth team guy. We're not worried about him.
Yeah.
And you send him on a go route or a double move, a stutter and go, and the speed that this young man has, he's already saying that he's the fastest wide receiver in the league. Imagine him smoking it down the line and Hurts being able to throw it up there and just let him run under it. Those are the one of the things, have defenses fall asleep because you've been wrestling around with A.J. Brown all day and this DB thinking, man, I finally get a break. And all of a sudden a stutter go, and there goes Quez Watkins down the field. Those are the things that you have to envision now that I see on the field. I see it. I'm like, man, this is a great opportunity to do this. But you just don't see it. And plus your defense knows, they understand how fast Quez is. They're going to play him a little different. But when you have another defense that hadn't seen this kid before, that's going to be out there and be like, all right, I finally get a break. I'm not wrestling with that man-child A.J. Brown anymore. And all of a sudden, bam, right down the field. Here's 6 because his big playability, how fast he is. Those are things that I see in this offense that are developing already.
I just think, too, back to DeVonta, I mean, he's going to get the number 2 guy. They're going to, right, Barrett? I mean, they're definitely going to, A.J. Brown's getting the number 1. And, he faced a lot of number 1s last year as a rookie. He's going to be that much better as a player and getting number 2s. Like, he's going to crush it this year.
Right. Yeah.
There are very few teams that have 2 number 1s playing a cornerback. Very few. A few teams out there do have dual 1 cornerbacks playing out there. But for the most part, this wide receiving core should have their way with a lot of secondaries in the NFL.
Yeah. All right. So aside from the wide receivers aside, I want to just hit you with that because there was some reply. Hey, we're not seeing a lot of DeVonta Smith. Again, we get so wrapped up in the day-to-day sometimes with this stuff. Right. But I know they've incorporated this thing where they've really put a lot of emphasis on the walkthroughs. Tell us what that is. Like, what exactly is going on there? Because we assume it's really not much, but they keep saying it's not what you think. Tell us what they are.
They say a walkthrough because it's they're not banging, they're not out there, especially the offensive line, they're not being physical. It's not a walkthrough, it's more of a sprint through. Things are being run and they're kind of run full speed. People get to their landmark, they get to their blocking points. Everybody gets to their routes. They get to the point where they're supposed to be at, to get the timing right. The DB also does the same thing. They have a blitz. They're going to run through the blitz. They're not going to follow through with the blitz. Once somebody touches, they're going to stop. But, it gives them an opportunity to see things going full speed. They're just not finishing or, pressing the issue with them. So it's actually a run through and not a walkthrough. That's number 1. Number 2, when you're in those type of environments, you can ask questions. You can stop things. Slade might say, oh, coach. Well, look at this look at this route combination right here. Now, if I play back like this, I'll be able to stop this, but look over the top. I don't have any help over the top. Who's going to help me over the top? He can stop things, or the offensive line is going through and the defense does a blitz. And Mailata said, hold on, coach, they ran this MBB blitz. Now, I can see this blitz coming because I see that linebacker pushed out a little bit. What if I turn around and tell Kelsey, hey, let's go ahead and push this out. Let's go ahead and call a Luke call. Luke call means that the center and the guard will work to that Mike linebacker. That way he can set out on the defensive end and pick that defensive end to that will linebacker, knowing that they're running a blitz, that they're going to bring this will linebacker off the ball, and then they can come in and slide the line to that side of the field. Those are things that they can work on and talk with, hey, coach, would this work better? If I see this blitz coming, if I see this guy lining up a little farther outside, it gives me the opportunity to call a call to stop this. You know what I'm saying? Or Kelsey turn around, tell the QB, tell Hurts, hey, Hurts, look at this. Look how far that safety is over here. Maybe we need to call the mic over to this guy because it's probably going to be this type of blitz or this type of coverage. And he can call it to there, which takes the hot now off the quarterback and puts it in the offensive line, that hot linebacker that might come, it puts it in the offensive lineman's hands because they know that other linebacker is not coming because, number one, he has nobody backing him up. But also, if you look at him, his demeanor is he's not coming. So as an elder player, a guy that knows the system and knows the blocking schemes, who knows what's going on offense, can call it to a guy that he thinks is coming, leave the guy that he knows is not coming, and puts him in a better way than which they can call the play and be more successful. Now he doesn't have a hot guy in his face throwing a hot. He can now take his time, let the play develop, and get the ball down the field. Those are all things you have with these walkthroughs. You can ask questions. You can see things happening. It's a fast-paced run through as opposed to a walkthrough.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, because I always, again, the assumption is it's nothing. You guys are screwing around the whole time, but it sounds like it's a lot more.
No, it's not more that. And Scott, why can't he can read defenses? He wouldn't be in the NFL if he couldn't read the defense. He would not be starting if he couldn't read. He can read defenses. But a lot of the time,
Jalen, you talk about Jalen.
Jalen, he said he can't read it. He can read defenses. But people have to understand when you out there and everything is cooking, the fire is right there. You know what I'm saying? It's going 100 miles an hour. It'd be hard for you to go out there and see things happen as fast as as he's seen. Man, everything is happening in front of him so fast, a microsecond. People don't understand when you're in college, you playing with maybe 2 or 3 All-Americans. When you get to the NFL, all those guys are All-American. All those guys have played the highest level in college. Now they're in the NFL. Now you have the biggest, strongest, fastest players in the world that are out there trying to get him. So, it's not fair to say, all right, he can't read defense. He can read them. It's just, is everybody on the same page? He couldn't get
reaction time.
Yeah, you couldn't get that with Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor did not. If he saw a blitz, he didn't know what to do with the blitz. He might not have ran the slant. Right? For instance, he might have a hot player. When a receiver sees, it's not just the quarterback that sees the hot player. The receivers have to see the hot player. The tight end has to see the hot player, and the back has to, because they have certain responsibilities. Once they see a linebacker disappear, that running back has to either run a slant or slant and go, or just make eye contact with the quarterback so he knows that this guy's going to be hot and he can get the ball to him. How many times have you seen quarterbacks where they see a hot linebacker come, that they're supposed to have a slant there, and he's throwing a slant because that's the read. Once a linebacker disappears, he's going to throw behind that linebacker where the slant is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't run there, and all of a sudden the safety picks it off. That's an interception for Hurts, but nobody knows that wide receiver is supposed to run a slant in that area behind him. So many things that happen on a field that you don't see and you don't know, but you think it's somebody else when it's actually somebody else.
Well said. Good stuff, Barrett. Really good breakdown there, man. Good stuff. All right, let's get a timeout. Let's come back. Bo Wolf's going to join us from The Athletic. Bo, as I mentioned earlier, Bo and Zach Berman, I think, co-authored this piece. It's sort of a it's taking you down memory lane with Jason Kelce and some cool anecdotes from his career thus far. So we'll talk to him about that, and of course everything he's observed at camp, because he's down there every day as well. Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, time to let you know about the great folks at Razor Technology. All right, IT infrastructure environments are more complex and heterogeneous than ever before. Consequently, teams struggle to respond to pressing issues with the speed necessary to promote positive business results, and the data that powers predictive monitoring and automation is left unexploited. Razor Technology addresses this challenge with a holistic approach that connects every part of an organization's technology assets, enabling proactive and secure IT operations without sacrificing the agility that drives innovation. Razor Technology automates monitoring and management to bolster IT teams that are feeling stretched thin. And it improves auditing and reporting procedures so that actionable insights find their way to the leaders that need them most. Save time and money on your IT and cloud services to secure your organization with leading end-to-end infrastructure solutions by calling Razor Tech today at 866-797-3282. That's 866-797-3282, or visit us online at razor-tech.com. That's razor-tech.com.